We're back here again with part two with the interview with Chrisaldo Rendon, who has been running Dance Sport Cebu City for some time now. Part one, we set up the establishment of Dance Sport Cebu City. And now we're going to talk about some of the infrastructure and the successes and the people involved along the way, and how far it is possible for some of these kids who have been taken off the street to have actually gone, and the successes that they've achieved for themselves. Lola, would you like to tell us a little bit about the people that you've surrounded yourself with at the moment?
Well, the team actually composed of only a few people. Our head is actually the husband and wife, Edward and Eleanor Heiko. They're the backbone of this organization. They're
sure
always there.
You couldn't speak more highly of them.
Yeah, planning and everything. I'm just an implementer, of all the plans. As the head coach of the team, I manage the teachers, senior teachers, junior teachers, and the competitors. And well, again, it's not an easy task to do it, but through the help of everybody, having people behind this, like our secretaries, Jeanette Flores, and of course the assistant Marjorie, are always there, and with the help of some people that I don't know if I can, if I can I can name their names, but then they know they're there for this. Their heart belongs to the right places, and they're always there voluntarily for this team.
Every teacher you've got there, except for the occasional guest teacher that comes in, have all come through your system. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly. We plan everything. It's not about individuality. It's not all about me. It's all about the development of these children. It's not about few. It's not about batches of kids, but it's all about all the children. So you have to understand that there should be succession as effect. I mean, I teach people. Those two people will be teaching another two people, and those people that they were teaching were also going to teach another two. So it becomes a cascade, and actually it becomes a system of Dance Sport Team Cebu City that we voluntarily do it for mankind, for the new generations to come. You're sending a good positive, energy to everybody, that it's not just about money. I mean, of course, everybody wants to have money and wants to earn something, but at least when you have your extra time, you can pitch in and join us as we continue to teach children. I mean, it's been 20 years and we never stop teaching kids. And when it comes to the successful ones of this organization, I'm proud to say that we produce lots. I mean, there were already two youth championships, world championships, that we were able to produce champions from Cebu City, from the barangays of Cebu City. And well, I'm going to talk the latest one, who just won last December's Southeast Asian Games. Won 3 gold medals for the Latin American.
3 out of 3, too.
Yeah, 3 golds. They're Wilbert Onzo and Pearl Marie Cañeda. It's a very long story. I don't have to brag anything, but ever since I saw, especially Wilbert, I know he has it inside. It just need some directions for him. In the beginning, it was quite hard, because I always imposed that if they want to remain with the team, they have to go back. They have to go back school, because during that time, he was, he was out of school youth. So I told him that if you want to stay with the team, you have to go back to study.
And I believe he did. He was suspended about 3 times because he dropped out of school. Is that right?
Not just 3 times, for so many times. It was just that, Wilbert's experience also is not really easy. I mean, as a kid, everything is not stable in his home and his surroundings, because at the early age. His dad died, and he's having two brothers that are, I shall say, drug addicts, and they're very open to that. And that's one of the problem of that society here in Cebu City way back then. And so it was not so easy for him. I mean, it's not, everything is not stable. Emotionally not stable, mentally not stable, because not that he's crazy, but I mean, he doesn't know where to go. So I keep on repeating to him that you just have to follow if you want to achieve something. But he did. So as I said, it was a very hard thing to do, doing all those things, because it contradicts with what he's there back home and what we wanted him to do as a member of the team. We didn't have much problem with Pearl, because Pearl was actually younger than Wilbert. But when I saw it during when they were young, I know they're much Wilbert style and Pearl, because Pearl at the young age, she was really good already. Actually, Wilbert is actually junior and Pearl was actually juvenile. So when they partner after a year...
Just for those people who don't know, Lola, could you explain the age difference between juvenile and junior, and youth and adult?
The juveniles up to 11 years old. Can you imagine? Up to 11 years old. Junior is actually 12 to 15 years old, and 16 to 18 years old are youth, and then 19 years old and above are actually adults. So can you imagine, Pearl is actually 11 years old and Wilbert is actually 15 years old. No, 15 years old during the time. So when Wilbert turned youth, Pearl has no choice but to jump from juvenile to youth. So yeah, he has no choice. Yeah, but he was so mature when it comes to his physicality and his dancing ability. She was matured during the time. So it was a really good partnership with them. And they won. I mean, you were part of their success, Jeff, because you opened their mind. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, the one interviewing me is actually also a big part in the life of Wilbert and Pearl, because Jeff was also actually helping them technically, and the opportunity also for them to compete in Australia. So thank you for that, Jeff. They're really a success story. And then once in their life, I mean, few years back, they were also asked to be, in movies, and they had the opportunity to. They were offered for being an actress, but then they decided to decline it because
they were talking about making a movie of their life at one stage.
Yeah, movies, because they realized that they can be good. They feel better here in dance sport. And we have another couple as well. Remember when we talk about there's good ones. They have ability, and there's not the slow one. So I'm gonna talk about is Kevin Dilubio. Actually, Kevin is the second of the four siblings. The eldest is the original member, and then Kevin came in, and then slowly he's the laughing stock of all. People keeps on talking bad about him because he cannot dance. He's so awkward, and his body is not in tune with music and much part of his body. But I keep on telling him to just keep moving forward. Don't listen to them. And again, in Bisaya, siya ang pinaka bati mo sayaw para sa uban. And during that time, with Kevin, there was another guy also. The other one was like a chubby guy, but I keep on telling them, just don't listen to what other people say. Just do what I say. Just keep going forward. And believe it or not, Kevin won every single competition.
And now would you like to explain to the people where Kevin is now?
Yeah. Yeah, he every single competition he won, and even the present partner of Kevin during that time, I partnered them together because I know when Kevin developed and the girl doesn't have a regular. I mean, the partner is not stable, so I tried to partner dance have them together, but the girl said no, I don't like because I said just try, just try. But eventually they tried and they become more, their level of dancing become level together, and they dance together and they won together many times with competitions. And you know where he is right now?
Yes. Would you
Both
like
of
to
them
explain
are
to the
now.
people?
Both of them now are in Australia. They are dance teachers in Australia. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
So
Wonderful.
this is the yeah. So this is the main reason why we are teaching the kids. It's not all about dancing. It's all about making them believe in themselves. It's just it's just a stepping stone for them to reach something. Can you imagine? It's just dancing, but they were able to achieve something. And it's not just them. Lots of them, I'll tell you. Lots of them.
And last time I was talking to Kevin, he was actually saying that he's in the process of saving to buy a house over there now.
Exactly. And even up to now, I keep telling them to, give them advice of what to do, since they'll always be my kids. I mean, regardless of, you know, uh, one of the hardest part, me personally, for the 20 plus years, the hardest part of leading these kids into something, that the two things that is for me is the hardest. The hardest part in training these kids and achieving something, one, the big hindrance are the parents. That's the biggest problem
The parents.
because they always contradict with what I want them to do, never realizing that I don't get a single centavo from them. If you get the chance to talk to these kids, ask them if I did get a single centavo from them, even Wilbert and Pearl.
I think that parents tend to be a problem in all sports with involving children.
That's the biggest problem. A lots of kids, I mean, I know they're talented. A lots of them way ahead. The problem are the parents. They always look at you as the bad person. When what I just wanted them to be is to achieve something, to have something in their lives that they never had.
And
Especially
you've also got
bring them
students now who are
poverty.
you've also got students now who are professional teachers in America. Um, I believe there's
Lots of
also,
them.
I believe there's also some
Yeah,
in Singapore.
yeah, lots actually. There are lots who are based in America, in New York. I don't have to name it, I think, for some reasons. And they know. Even now, I mean, we don't communicate much because they're busy. I'm happy for them. They achieve something. Maybe to them and to their parents, I'm the bad one, but they don't really get the point here.
Yeah.
Uh, what we wanted to do is for them to believe in themselves and achieve something, but then everything will not really fall into the same path as we wanted it to be. But at the end of the day, we did not fail. This team did not fail because we were able to do something and be able to reach something, and I know they'll have a good future with that.
One of the
And
wonderful things about Dance Sport Cebu City is that you started probably 6 years ago now, I think, running annual conferences, 2-day conferences there with international guest speakers and demonstrators coming over. And every one of them that I've spoken to has said what a marvelous reception that they have achieved from the kids, they received from the kids. That the kids are just so loving and so caring and so attentive and so respectful. It's they're just, all the international teachers are blown away by the kids.
yeah, well, it's nice to talk about it. Actually, we're the only one who's doing a dance camp in the Philippines, and it has been 9 years already. We're doing dance camp every summer here in Cebu City, and we have invited foreign teachers. professional teachers in the Philippines, and we invited the whole Philippines. They always come here, and I believe they enjoyed a lot because they keep on coming back. It's a good experience for them. It's not just, again, it's not just about dancing. It's all about being family oriented. It's all about helping each other. Because, you know, once you're here in Cebu City, you can experience firsthand that our kids are really, really very nice. When you ask them, when you're dancing, they're going to approach you and share something to you.
Yeah.
And if you're going to ask them, they're very willingly, you know, help you with all their heart, with nothing in return. Because that's what fun is all about.
And a number of couples who have met at Dance Sport there have gone on and got married to each other. And I believe that there's also one young lady now who's been training for some time in triathlons. People have gone on to all different spheres of life.
Yeah, actually, in this sport, in this dance sport, of course, it's a sport, but we always encourage them to try out something else. I mean, there are few who are into triathlon, and it's good because it's a cross training. I will name like May Pabuaya. She's a good Latin dancer. She's a very good bold standard dancer, and she's also into triathlon, and she enjoyed all of it. So it's not a problem at all. And there's some who followed her path, and there's some also that are into some other sports, and it's good. I mean, I have I don't know if he's but I believe this young guy is also a karate, but he switched to dance sport because he enjoyed. And then I don't know if he still do karate, but I'm still very proud of him because he can do both. It's not easy to have another sport within your system, because every sport has its different discipline from the other. But it's interrelated, because of course karate is also like martial arts, and it's the body movement, and dance sport is also into the same group of sport.
And tell me,
but that's good.
In the beginning, you in part one, you were talking about the government for a second, and how you were looking for just support for the government and recognition, etc. Have the government become more involved with the dance sport now? Do they support you in any way?
Yeah, actually, as I've said on the first part, that we have this youth agency. They called it SK, or Sangguniang Kabataan. It used to be Kabatang Barangay during my time. It's called Sangguniang Kabataan. We tapped them to have a project in the village, in the barangays. And after a few years of collaborating with them, the city government saw the potential of the youth in Cebu. So they started helping us little by little. And believe it or not, we're the only sport in Cebu City that is always standing, over the years with, can you imagine, different administration, because we don't want to be involved politically. We just want to be in the sport. Whoever is there, we serve through helping the kids, not because we're politically inclined about somebody. So for many administration, dance sport is still standing. And because we believe that even before them being part of our system in dance sport, we were already there teaching. And that's actually the start of it. They saw that we've been doing outreach program where we're teaching kids. We brought kids to Manila for a national competition for many times. There's 3 competitions a year. We've been bringing kids many times to competition in Manila, and that's how the local government before noticed us. So slowly helping us, and up to now, we're very lucky that in spite of many changing of administration, but they have supported us, and we also support other sports actually. A lot of sports doesn't know that, but we do. support other sports. And we encourage also kids in dance sports, especially during the summer. But I mean, the Cebu City Sports Commission has a project every summer wherein all sports is a free sports for all. So we go. There's lots of barangays in Cebu City wherein we offer lots of sports activities in one particular area or barangay. So once they finish with our time in dance sport, we encourage them to try other sports. And I don't know if other sports also did the same to us, but then we always tell them to try the sports because we believe that the kids, I know most of them love to dance, but if they get the chance also to try other sports, maybe they will love that sports as well, or they're better off with that sports, but we're happy with it. We always discourage them, yeah.
It's all about just trying to do the best for the kids. And these
Exactly.
these summer workshops that you do, they last for about 4 hours each day, each afternoon, 5 days a week for 2 weeks or 4 weeks?
It depends. Sometimes you're up to 1 month, so it depends of how long or the duration that they're gonna give us. The longer, the better for us. Actually, we want it longer, but then it depends on the Cebu City Sports Commission of the duration of the summer sports activities, the schedules. Yeah.
And the vast majority of these kids, if they weren't actually involved in dance sport or some other sports, they'd just be on the streets causing a nuisance and making problems. The vast majority of them.
Yes, I mean, you know, frankly speaking, each one of us has different views. I mean, you know, when it comes to the kids, you know, when they're doing nothing, they become nuisance, they become eyesore, they become menace to the society. But if you give them something that they can have fun with, they can enjoy, they can be productive to them, can inspire them, you know, making them believe that they can be somebody, they can achieve something, then that's the way it is. That's the best way to do. So we've been encouraging actually some other sports to do the same. I mean, just because we're into dancing, the notion is that it's just dancing, but it is not. We have also disciplines. The hardest part also within dance sport is that we have 2 disciplines. Yeah, it's not easy to learn the other discipline because it doesn't go with the other discipline.
And each of those disciplines have 5 different categories.
Yeah, but each discipline have different 5 dances on each discipline. So
we're talking here about the waltz, the foxtrot, the tango, the Viennese waltz, the quick step, and the cha-cha, the rumba, the paso doble, the jive, and the samba. Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly. So there are 10 dances, 2 disciplines. So it's not easy.
And it's very different. Different children or different people actually are far more suited for the different disciplines. For example, the Latin American, which is much faster and requires much more energy, etc., is much more suitable for smaller, fast twitch people, whereas the ballroom style is much more suitable for taller, bigger spaces, long striding people.
Exactly.
It's a bit like athletics. Some people choose the sprints and some people choose the long distance races.
Yeah, exactly. But it's actually the same. I mean, you have to dance in full blast for 1.5 minutes of each dance. So can you imagine that? Okay, it's not just about dancing, a social dancing wherein you're just gonna do whenever I feel turning, it's okay. No, in dance sport, it's not. You have to learn every single details of figures, and each dance has lots of figures. I mean, it's not just 2 figures, 3 up to 10. It has like 30 figures. Some dances, which is I think 30 figures. So,
and it's very, very both aerobic and anaerobic. I remember when I danced in the British Championships, the competition actually started at 12:30 at the afternoon and never finished till 1 o'clock in the morning. We were on and off the floor constantly throughout the time, whittling it away from about 240 couples competing down to the final 6.
Exactly. Especially in Europe, there's lots. I mean, in one single competition, there are thousands of competitors.
Yeah. And,
Yeah,
and in
and that's
fact, when
true.
there's
That's
thousands
true.
of competitors, they don't even classify that you've entered the competition until you've got to the, what is it, the 480 or something, or I can't remember off the top of my
Yeah,
head.
yeah. There's
Uh,
so many rounds. Yeah,
mm,
in one single event.
yeah. Mm.
So it's not an easy. This is not an easy sport. It
Yes.
may look easy to you because it's dancing, but it's not. Behind it, there's always, you know, shouting, quarreling with partner. Everything is there, all into one. Keep fighting every single day practicing. But when you see it in the dance floor, okay, it's a different story. Okay,
Sometimes you must feel like you're a martial arts trainer. Is that right?
exactly, exactly.
Uh,
But when they're in the dance floor, you can see, they dance beautifully, exhilarating thing there in the floor. But behind that, that's the biggest, you know, challenge there because you will only dance 1 minute and a half,
for each
but
dance.
you spend much of your time practicing. Just one dance. Imagine how many hours of practice, blood, sweat, and tears, and money spending
And one of the other,
for
one of
for
the
this
other
sport.
wonderful things for you is that it's a little bit like personally building a house where you actually start off putting the plans together and you actually start laying the bricks. And then when you're finished, you actually finally see the finished product. And for you, when you're training these kids and you actually see them out on the floor winning championships, it must be a tremendously exhilarating feeling for you.
Exactly. It's a, you know, deep inside. I mean, there was at one point wherein uh, most of our top couples uh, decided to go somewhere, and it was a shock on us because as I said, the problem is some of the parents have their own plans, but we won't say no. Of course, never that we say no to all of them. It's just that they don't understand. We have a plan for them, but they have their own plan. That's a problem.
Yes.
Okay? Could have been better if we can talk about it, and then together we can
Work it out.
let them explore the world and be more successful. But then again, they have their own plans. That's the biggest problem. The parents. Uh,
Right.
but but uh, but then again, these kids, uh, the product of this team, actually, some of them came back because they realized they belong here. And I know those who are familiar with dance sport Team Cebu City, and even in Philippine dance sport, they know that some of our guys has already been outside the Philippines, but they came back because they feel they belong here.
Yes. Yes.
But that's the choice.
Constantly, the people come back and do training for the kids there.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
So that's why we're telling a story here, and this is also a lesson for everybody, especially the parents. Again, guys, we're here already for 24 years, and we're still dance sport Team Cebu City, and we'll never stop teaching. We never stop inspiring kids. We never try to let them believe in themselves.
And
So
one of the people who actually not the top light dancers, but one of the people who actually left for a while and then came back to demonstrate how welcoming you are to the people who come back. She's actually wound up as being the assistant secretary of the organization, Marjorie.
yes, exactly. Because you know, apart from the parents, also there are some people. I mean, in all organizations, it's very normal that once they don't jive with your direction, they bolt out and they create their own, and we're happy for them. But the problem is, once they're on the other side, they try grabbing kids on our side. We don't hate them. It's just that we felt bad for the kids who goes on the side. We won't go. Believe me, not even one single group succeeded because you know why? They don't have the foundation. That's the problem.
Yeah.
They're doing it for the name. They're doing it for their own benefit. They're doing it for they have their purpose, their own personal purpose. This team stood for 24 years. We have the foundation because we know that this is the way to train, to give inspiration to the kids to achieve something. And once they achieve something, we're happy for them. We don't have anything back except pride that they started from us. We trained them. They become a better one and they achieve something. That's just the, you know, that's just the price of.
Lola, before we finish, it would be very remiss of us not to mention the second backbone of the whole organization, which is Jeanette Flores there, who the administrator, the secretary there, who is just a workaholic, who's there every day supporting everybody. She's a wonderful secretary.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So look, Lola,
Yeah.
is there anything that you would like to say before we finish up? Any final comments you would like to make?
I would like to thank, of course, with all of the activities. It's Sir Edward Heiko is always there on top of this, and Mom Eleanor since you know
She's
also one of the backbone.
She's a mother to all the children. Yes.
Yeah. Again, I'm just the implementer of the team. They have the brain here. I do implementation, and I have the people also. The structure is very solid. One is, of course, the one you mentioned, Jeanette Flores. She's always my shock absorber. I mean, we always have this like a quarrel all the time because but then they all know that I love them. They all know that. It's just that they even whatever problems that we have, we're always very okay because they know that what I wanted is for the good of all of us, not me. It's not me, because at my age, I shall say I have achieved what I wanted to be in my life, and the biggest achievement is still gonna be producing lots of kids to be successful, not only in dancing. Because apart from dancing with our official team right now, is that I train them to be good at where they're inclined to. For example, a lot of them are into computers, so they're more there. I group them there. And who are into music are there. Who are into doing costumes are here. Those who wanted to be on the technical side, sound system, they're there. And the lighting thing, they're there. So apart from dancing, we train them to be, very handy. And then things that they love to do. I always encourage them to do something, to do more, because we can be, we can do a lot of things, multiple of things.
Give me an idea of how many kids you would have put through the program in the last 24 years.
My God. Officially, it says 30,000, but believe me, guys, over 24 years, it's
30,000
much more than
24
that.
years. That's it's
an official count. But it's more than that. Believe me, it's more than that. Because every summer we can one venue, like I remember Cebu Coliseum before, it was full packed, and the floor you cannot drop a pin there because lots of kids. Yeah, and you have experienced that, Jack.
Yeah.
Many times with our activities. So again, to all the parents out there, just you as parents have to guide your children, support them, because for now you cannot see the fruits of the seeds that you planted, but eventually they'll become better. Like Kevin, I'm always proud of Kevin, always.
Thank you very, very much for your time, Lolo. And
my pleasure, Jeff.
I'm sure even the parents who might disagree with you would thank you in the end. We appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you so much, Jeff, for this.
Thank you.